Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing new March Cozy Mystery releases. I have 12 in total for you today that we're going over. So let's go ahead and just hop into the first one. I do have several animations for some of the synopsis throughout the video, so stay tuned for those. They are sprinkled throughout the video. And we're going to go ahead and hop into the first one, which I am especially excited for. The first one is called The Raven Thief. This is written by Gigi Pandian and it will be coming out on March 21st. This is the second book in the Secret Staircase Mysteries series. So I read the first book in the series last year and I did enjoy it. I thought the mystery had like a couple little holes in it, but overall I thought the mystery was good. I loved the characters were interesting. I loved the main character's family, and she is actually an ex-magician. She worked on like a huge stage in Las Vegas and she's returned home to her parents' business, which is like a secret staircase business where they build all these like secret doors and like, you know, secret hidden bookshelves and everything. It's really cool. So here is a synopsis for the second book in this series. So the family business, Secret Staircase Construction, just finished their first project with Tempest Raj officially a part of the team. So the first project they completed was a classic mystery novel themed home interior, and their client is now ready to celebrate her new life without her cheating ex-husband, a famous mystery author, Corbin Colt. So she wants to throw a party, and Tempest and Grandpa Ash are also invited to this exclusive mock seance to remove any trace of Corbin from the property, for good. And everything is all good until Corbin's dead body crashes the party. So the only suspects for this murder are the 8 people around the seance table, and suspicion is most heavily placed on Grandpa Ash because he actually has blood on him, which of course doesn't look very good to the police. So to prove her beloved grandfather's innocence, Tempest must figure out what really happened and how, or Ash will be cooking his delectable Indian and Scottish creations nevermore, which would be an absolute travesty. That sounds delicious. So I'm very excited for this one. Like I said, the characters were very well fleshed out, colorful, the family dynamics were interesting. There was some really interesting groundwork laid for some subplots about the family in the first book, so I'm very excited for book 2. This was actually on my most anticipated cozy mystery releases for the year. I'll link that above if you want to see the other 14 in that video. And let's go and hop into book 2. So book 2 has a bewitching cover. I think it's so pretty. It's called Death Below a Restless Moon, the Victoria Sedgewick Mysteries. It's book 5 in the series. This will be coming out on March 31st and it's written by Blythe Baker. This book has a very short synopsis. I really can't give you too much information, unfortunately, but basically Victoria Sedgewick's cousin falls under suspicion for some kind of crime, and Victoria's already dealing with a lot in her life. She has issues with her friend Branwell, and she also has some dangers arising at home. So between all those distractions and trying to clear her cousin's name, can Victoria do it all? That's kind of the essential plot for this book. I think the cover is delightful. I haven't personally read this series. Let me know if you have, but it looks really interesting and I love the artwork on the cover. Next release comes out on the 30th. This is called Murder Under a Red Moon, a 1920s Bangalore mystery. This is part of the Bangalore Detectives Club. It's book 2 in the series. It's written by Harini Najendra. So our main character in this is named Kaveri, and she is a new bride in Bangalore, and she has solved a mystery in the first book, and recently her mother-in-law has been putting a lot of pressure on her to solve a minor crime, and she thinks, okay, that's fine, like you know, it's just a small crime, I can do this, no bodies. Unfortunately, someone actually is murdered, so it ends up being a murder mystery after all. And so not only does she have this murder mystery on her hands, but the tensions in the country are really rising. There's a lot of anti-British sentiment growing in the area. There's a rising women's rights movement going on, and there's also a very charismatic religious leader who's like gaining a lot of following, and it doesn't sound like they have the best intentions, I'm assuming. And so she's got a lot of pressure on her to try to solve this mystery. There's a lot going on around her, and she starts to get closer to solving the mystery, and she ends up putting her life in danger in the process. I had to include this because I'm trying to expand where like cozy mysteries I'm reading are set, and this really appealed to me, and the cover art, it's so beautiful. I gotta read this. It looks so beautiful. Alright, so next one I thought had a really fun theme. This one's called Concerts Can Be Deadly. It's written by Cindy Bell, and it's book 16 of the Sage Gardens Cozy Mystery series. And this will be coming out on March 22nd. So this one actually takes place during retirement. The premise of this is, who said retirement is boring? Samantha can't believe her luck when she wins tickets to a concert to see one of her favorite bands. Not only does she get front row seats, but a backstage pass as well. And she decides to take her best friend Joe with her. They're really looking forward to letting their hair down, having a great night out, enjoying the show. Unfortunately, the performance comes to a giant halt when someone is murdered on stage. So Samantha and Joe find themselves right in the middle of this giant murder mystery, and along with their unlikely friends Eddie and Walt, they join forces and use their varied skills to investigate the murder. They call themselves the Sage Garden Sleuths, and they find themselves heading towards trouble. Are they going to stay alive long enough to find the murderer, or is their luck finally going to run out? I love the idea of a concert performance and then someone dying on stage and having to figure out how that happened and nobody knows who did it. Like, I find that to be really interesting, like the public part of that, and the cover for this is just so fun. This next one's been getting a lot of hype, and I can see why. It's called Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers. It's coming out on the 14th, and this was written by Jesse Q. Sutanto. And as of right now, at least, there's no series listed, so I think this might be a standalone one from what I can tell. So Vera Wong is a little old lady. She is a Chinese mother, and she owns this little forgotten tea shop in the middle of San Francisco's Chinatown, and I think she sleeps like above the tea shop, and one night she finds a body in the tea shop, and the man who's found dead on the floor is holding a flash drive. So she calls the police, but while she's waiting for them, she decides to take the flash drive because who better than herself to solve the mystery and to see what's on the flash drive? So she starts to snoop around, investigate, tries to figure it out, and she ends up forming some unlikely friendships with customers and gets close to solving the murder mystery. So this one sounded really interesting. I think the cover art is so clever for this, and I really need to read something by this author. I have it on my TBR and I need to get to it because it just sounds amazing. Next we have one from a series that I need to read. It's the Cheese Shop Mystery Series by Korina. This is called Curds of Prey, and this will be the third book in the series. It's coming out on the 28th of March. So our main character in this is named Willa, and she owns a cheese shop called Euro and Glen in Sonoma Valley, and she gets to be a part of a really big summer social event, a huge wedding for summer, and she's doing like a cheese bar for like some of the wedding events, which I need to be invited to a wedding with a cheese bar. This hasn't happened yet in my life, but that sounds amazing. Everything is going okay until Willa's beau, Roman, ends up getting in a fight with the groom at one of the wedding events, and then the groom, who is also the mayor's nephew, is found dead. So not only does this look bad for Willa's beau, Roman, but the mayor is also putting pressure on Willa to solve the mystery because this was his nephew, and of course he's devastated by the loss. I love cheese. I just need to get a hold of the series so badly, but I love cheese. I think this sounds like a really fun series, and the cover is so cute. This next one speaks to my heart because I love lemon. It's called Lemon Curd Killer. This is part of the Tea Shop Mystery Series. It's book 24 in the series, which is written by Laura Childs, and this is coming out on the 7th. Alright, so our main character in this is tea entrepreneur Theodosa, and she owns a tea shop, and she's been asked to do a lemon-themed tea party for this Charleston fashion event. Everything is going well until a fashion designer is found dead, and the designer's daughter begs Theodosa to look into the mystery and to solve what happened to her mother. She's looking into it with the help of her sommelier Drayton, and everything is going okay until they get a little too close to whoever did it. They're also having to deal with crazed clothing designers, drug deals, just a ton of craziness is going on around them. There's a tea trolley disaster. It sounds really fun, and I love anything lemony, whether it's tea or sweets or anything lemon, so this is just right up my alley. I love the cover and the name for this. Next we have one from one of my favorite series and authors, Rhys Bowen. This is part of the Molly Murphy series, which takes place with Molly, who is an Irish-American immigrant to New York in the very early 1900s. This one is called All That Is Hidden, a Molly Murphy mystery. It's book 19 in the series, and it's written by Rhys Bowen and her daughter, Clare Broyles. This book will be coming out on March 14th. So at this point in the series, Molly is a retired detective. She is married to a police captain, and it's 1907 autumn in New York, beautiful foliage. She has a family with her husband Daniel. Everything's going okay until all of a sudden her husband informs her that they're moving to this really fancy street. They're moving to a much bigger house, and he's also applying for a political position. All of which just floors her because he didn't consult with her on this, and they're usually very much like a team, and she's also really surprised that he's running who he's like running alongside, because they're known for having some really bad deals and notorious like kind of criminal activity and stuff. So she's really shocked. So Molly can't help but wonder if Daniel got himself tangled up in more than he can handle, and she starts to investigate. So this series is a little less of a traditional like murder mystery series. There's often a murder involved somewhere along the lines, but it's a lot of more like historical fiction and politics of the time, which I personally find very interesting, but it is all cozy, so I wanted to include on this list. Rhys Bowen is an absolutely fabulous writer. I love her Royal Spineless series especially, but the Molly Murphy one is another fantastic one. Molly is very fiery and a very like ambitious, like driven sleuth, which I really appreciate. Next we have Four Parties and a Funeral. This is written by Maria DeRico, and it's book 4 of a Catering Hall mystery series. This will be coming out on March 28th. So Maria DeRico is an Agatha Award winning writer, and her main character in this is named Mia, and she is coming back to being in Astoria, Queens, and she's running her Italian-American family's catering hall, which is called Bellevue Banquet Manor. Unfortunately, a TV casting call is about to put murder in the spotlight. So this takes place during June, and the event schedule for the catering hall is overflowing. You have proms, graduations, weddings. There's some unexpected bookings as well, including a casting call for the pilot of Dawns of Ditmars Boulevard, which is like a cheesy reality show. And unfortunately, Bellevue, the catering hall, becomes the site of a bunch of wannabes and phony girlfriends, and some of Mia's friends even insist on getting in the action, so there's just people everywhere and she's being driven crazy basically. The production company owner and the executive producer ex-wife, who are very minor British royalty, have also gotten a motley crew that just fights all the time. They're backstabbing each other just as much as the on-screen talent. So it's a big shock when a dead body is found in the pool house of a local mansion rented by the show. So while murder might boost the ratings for the show, Mia is worried about the catering hall's reputation, and she wants to get the killer jail time, not airtime. I thought that was hilarious the way this little summary ended up, and I think this sounds really fun. I love the idea of an Italian-American catering hall, because I'm personally Italian myself, so I always have a little bit of an interest in that, and I think it just sounds like so much fun. Next we have a cozy releasing on March 3rd. This one is Sequined Cape Murders. It's written by Millie Ravensworth, and it's book 3 in the Cozy Craft Mystery series, which just started releasing this year, so this is coming out in like rapid fire succession, and this book will be coming out, like I said, on the 3rd. So this one takes place with our main characters Penny and Izzy, who are cousins, and Penny has a background in like management and business, while Izzy is like a designer, and she does a lot of the sewing for this beautiful like clothing shop and like tailoring place. And their grandmother is the one who kind of got them together in the first book and like on this business venture essentially. And their grandmother is having their 80th birthday, so they are planning a big like hullabaloo for her grandmother, and they are, you know, Izzy's busy sewing all these costumes and dresses and, you know, different event clothes for the thing. Unfortunately, one night Penny, who lives like above the shop in like a little loft, she finds a body in her loft, but everything is closed. Like all the doors, the windows, everything is closed, and there's this body just there. So she has no idea how this person got into her loft because everything was locked up. She has no idea who murdered this person, and the police are kind of looking at her. They're really confused. They're perplexed at how this could have possibly happened. So they're trying to make their grandmother's birthday special, and Penny and Izzy are trying to solve this really crazy, like kind of locked room murder all at the same time. Also, there's a corgi. I'm gonna zoom in on the cover, but there's a really cute corgi, which is apparently Penny's, and that makes me even happier because corgis are adorable. Our last cozy mystery release is by the popular Lynn Cahoon. This is called Four Charming Spells, a kitchen witch mystery. It's book 4 in the series, and this will be coming out on March 28th. So in this series we have our kitchen witch, Mia Malone, and she's really excited because a new tea shop has opened up. So she's ready to sit down and enjoy a cup of tea, but before she can even do that, she ends up having this influx of all these events in her life, including hiring a new enchanting cake decorator, which she's very excited for. But before she can even sit down in the tea shop, she actually attracts the attention of the tea shop owner, whose name is Mahogany, and Mahogany has a mystery for her. Basically, Mahogany's mother died in this very abrupt, sudden, and suspicious way, and Mahogany wants Mia to investigate. So Mia starts to look into it, but as she does, she's unearthing all of these secrets, and she might even be casting some negative light on her place, which is called Mia's Morsels. So she's going to keep looking into it for the sake of Mahogany and her mother, but what exactly is she going to find? I don't know, but I'm excited to find out. And I think the cover for this, absolutely darling. I think the premise, fun, the kitchen witch theme, perfect, absolutely perfect. And yeah, that is the end of our video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know down below which of these books sounded the most interesting to you. Did I miss any new March releases that you're personally very excited for? And thank you guys again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I do upload new book content every single week on this channel, especially in the cozy and mystery genres. So if you enjoy mysteries, if you enjoy cozy reads, you'll love this channel, I promise. So definitely hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!